Kostas Sloukas in a Panathinaikos jersey? No, that's an image I never thought to see in my life. The biggest and the most unexpected summer transfer in Euroleague for years. Does that instantly make PAO, obviously only on the paper, a serious contender for the Euroleague Final Four? Let's think through of how the main trio of Sloukas, Vildoza and Lessort will work and who else Ataman needs to sign in order to reach the top with his new club. Now, FS may not have found the right balance with him as a coach last season, but Ergin Ataman, the GM, is making incredible moves once again. Let's rewind 5 years back. FS have just finished the EuroLeague season dead last with a mere total of 7 wins and 23 losses. Then Ataman gets a green light to rebuild the team and signs 9 new players, including the likes of Micic, Larkin, Moerman, Bobois, Pleiss, and James Anderson. FS finished 4th next year in the regular season and lose only in the final. Year 2023. PAO wins only 11 games and loses 23 of them. Second to last in the EuroLeague, Ergin Ataman gets the green light. Well, you get the idea here. But is it really going to work the same again? I personally love the Sloukas move, but I've read that a lot of you don't, because he's being overpaid for a guy who is a liability on defense and will be 37 when his contract finishes. But he's also one of the best, if not the best, pick-and-roll players in Europe, an amazing floor general, and incredible in the clutch. Yeah, he missed that championship winning shot in Kaunas, but what about Game 3 versus Fenerbahce with Olympiakos' backs against the wall? What about that layup in Madrid or 2 game winners last season?
Slukas drives at Vesely, gets the shot away and scores with 2 seconds to play.
Maybe we shouldn't concentrate so much on his ego and not forget about all this. Panathinaikos badly needed a big name just to regain the respect of top stars. Or maybe simply the possibility of weakening your biggest local opponent was too attractive to pass on. It's been a disaster for PAO the last couple of years in the domestic league, with a losing streak against Olympiakos reaching 13 games. Now replacing Sasha Vezenkov and Sloukas for them is a huge task and definitely not an easy one. Those two are unique players that fit so well together. But back to Sloukas, why do I think it's a great move? Ataman, the coach, gives total offensive freedom to his guards. All FS's championship runs depended on Micic's and Larkin's scoring and creation. The Turkish team demonstrated perfect spacing on pick and rolls and surrounded the 2 backcourt stars with as much shooting as possible. Now Sloukas, together with Vildoza, will be the ones getting the Micic and Larkin roles at PAO. That's actually the main reason Sloukas left Olympiakos. He wanted the leading role with the starting unit and more than 23 minutes per game. In comparison, in Piraeus, he belonged to the second unit and played exclusively second and fourth quarters. 44% of his attacks ended in the pick-and-roll shot, where he scored a solid 1 point per possession. Vildoza also had super high pick-and-roll ratio at 35% and was even better at scoring in this play type, averaging 1.25 points per possession according to Instat. To compare, Micic and Larkin this season were at 1.13 and 1.05 respectively.
Helps out on the 3-pointer, which is drilled by Luca Vildoza. He's clobbered to the court by Matthias Lessort.
Kostas was exceptional at the rim for his size, converting on 65% attempts near the rim, among the best in the whole league, not only between guards. His ability to enter the paint and collapse the defenses will be huge for Ataman. Although he struggled with his off-the-dribble jumper in pick and rolls, nobody is giving him the Calates or Exum treatment above the 3-point line. However, that's a stat to monitor heading into the next season. Sloukas was only 26% on pull-up threes in the pick and roll. But I'm not afraid of this at all. Scoring isn't even his #1 quality. The combination of that and his playmaking skills is what makes him a top-tier guard in Europe. He had a 1 assist lower per game average than Darius Thompson, a point guard who FS now signed to replace Micic, but if we compared them in the same time period, we would get almost identical numbers. And at the start of the training camp, Sloukas will find a perfect companion for the 2-man game.
Lessort, just get out of the way!
Matthias Lessort was lured away from Partizan, and oh boy do I like this pairing. Lessort is as mobile as big men can be, quick with his feet after setting good solid screens. Or sometimes he slips them, leaving his own defenders in behind. The Frenchman has also displayed huge improvements under Željko in short roll decision making. Knowing that with Sloukas some teams might try to hedge to force the ball out of his hands, such quality will be an important one. Lessort scored 1.38 points per roll role in the Euroleague this year among the best and has good hands and touch around the rim. So you can be sure that Sloukas and Lessort duo will be the biggest headache for Olympiacos and Partizan in the next season. Boy, that sounds weird. Before talking about how the rest of this roster should be filled out, make sure you are subscribed to our channel for a chance to win a Nikola Jokic jersey. One lucky person will receive it once we hit 75k subs. Now, what more we can expect from the PAO's new shiny backcourt? If scoring and creation shouldn't be a problem, defense could be an issue. Here, the non-lovers of this deal are right. Sloukas definitely was targeted as Olympiacos' weak link, while Vildoza, even though he was in the top 5 in steals category, was often risking way too much to get them. Kostas was constantly hunted by his national team coach Itoudis in the Fenerbahce series, with anybody who was in front of him getting the freedom to attack in ISO situations. Vildoza is better, quicker, much younger, and can definitely have great moments, but his desire to go for steals sometimes results not in them, but in 5v4 situation for the opponents. Wild Vildoza, that's what I like to call those tries. When he decides to go for it, there's no gray zone. It's either a layup for him or an open shot for the opponents.
Trademark Savannah's Vesta defense to get them back in business.
That's why signing Jerian Grant, I think, is a great addition. The Eurocup MVP can play next to both Sloukas and Vildoza, giving tough defense and occasionally taking their scoring and pick-and-roll duties. Paris Lee had a fantastic second half of the season, but Grant is much taller, thus compensating for whatever difficulty Sloukas might have defensively. Another undersized guard would have given the enemies too much room to work with. I believe Grant's role will be similar to the one Thomas Walkup had in Olympiacos whenever he was on court with Sloukas, defending the best perimeter player and waiting a little bit more off-ball in the offense.
Mitro long and walk up with a 3.
I don't expect PAO to immediately dominate the regular season. This will be a newly constructed team after all. But if they finish the puzzle right and make it work, the Greens could be a dangerous threat come playoff time. So what else is missing? Matt Thomas' situation is unsure, but I would love to see the sniper staying. His catch and shoot and movement shooting capabilities could give PAO's offense the necessary spacing and that extra premium option when the pick and rolls aren't working. Lastly, Panathinaikos were able to snag the best available local players. Mitoglu's return is official, while Papapetrou is really close to coming back, according to multiple reports. However, I would expect 2 more additions at the 3 and 4 positions. Mitoglu hasn't played for quite some time, and even though he has the perfect size for the 4 position, can stretch the floor and defend, it's impossible Panathinaikos are starting him after such a long break. Ideally, the starting small forward would be someone who excels without having the ball for too long. Stationary spot-up shooter, can be a slasher in closeout situations, and can defend at above average level. So basically all the things Bonzi Carlson is giving to Maccabi.
Goes to the rim, flips it up and gets the score.
Now let's enter the waiting game and see who else Ataman convinces to join the new PAO project. What do you guys think? Did PAO overpay for Sloukas, or is it a reasonable price for him? And if Nikola Mirotic chooses to go to a different country, what additions you would love to see at the 3 and 4 positions? Leave the comment down below, like the video, and don't forget to check out the BN Plus platform right here for more additional content. See you in the next one.